about paying it off. You know what I'm saying? It's just a spirit of greed. Titus chapter 1, verse 7 and 16. Titus chapter 1, 7 to 16 verses.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said 13. For a bishop must be blameless, as the steward of Yah, not self-willed, not soon angry, not given to wine, no striker, not given to filthy lucre, but a lover of hospitality, a lover of good men, sober, just, holy, temperate, holding fast the faithful word, as he hath been taught, that he may be able by sound doctrine both to exhort and to convince the naysayers. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake. They do it just for greed reasons. One of themselves, even a prophet of their own, said, the Cretans are always liars, evil beasts, slow bellies. Got that big old belly with all that fat in it and all that lascivious greed in it. This witness is true. Wherefore, rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith, not giving heed to Jewish fables and commandments of men, that turn from the truth. Unto the pure, all things are pure. But unto them that are defiled with the whore and unbelieving is nothing pure. But even their mouth and conscience is defiled. They profess that they know Yah, but in their works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient, and to every good work reprobates. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many, grossly obese pastors out here. I mean, that comes with a spirit. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if your pastor cannot control his mouth, how can your pastor really discern what you're going through? Because obviously, if if a whore goes by them with a cupcake, you know what I'm saying, it's a wrap. He can't rebuke the whore with that cupcake. No. A whole cake, you know what I'm saying? and that's what you're supposed to have enjoyment in the word. You're supposed to have enjoyment. And I was thinking about that when I was putting the lesson today. Say you are strong in one area and you're weak in one area. You might be strong against not stealing, but you're weak to the flesh to greed. You know what I'm saying? Or you're strong in you're strong in gluttony, but you're weak to sexual perversionness. All Satan got to do is bring what you're weak into, and then mash that and give you all the rest of it. That's why you have to be well-rounded all together. Hallelujah. This is Isaiah. We're going to go to Isaiah chapter 56, 10 to 12. And especially, again, these pastors, that's why you got to use the spirit of discernment. If you're going to let somebody teach you, you should examine them. You know what I'm saying? Yahusha never had a problem with being examined because he was straight. You got a question for me? I can answer that, no problem. But a lot of, these pastors, they suffer from issues, and if they're not actively working on that, that's going to be a problem for them to help you spiritually. Isaiah 56, 10 to 12. 10 to 12. Yes, chapter 56, verse 10 to 12. Go ahead, Brother Ryan.
Do a little exercise, man.
Oh. Isaiah 56, 10 to 12. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark. And you know, when your throat is full of pig fat or various other gluttonous items, you know what I'm saying, it's hard for you, because you know, because all that what is called the phlegm. And that's a byproduct of gluttony. You know what I'm saying? Gluttony is not no joke. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark, sleeping, laying down, loving to slumber. And when you are in the sin of gluttony, these are things that you love to do because you're tired. All that eating, you know what I'm saying? Them jawbones, you know, got to work out. You know what I'm saying? Got the bite of an alligator, boy. Them, you know, that's the only muscle getting worked out, boy. You know what I'm saying? If they ever get in the fight, just bite them. Come ye, yea. They are greedy dogs, that gluttonous spirit, which can never have enough, that demon spirit. And they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, everyone for his gain from his quarter. You know, and then that goes back, you know, again, this is the section about the whore of Babylon. You know, enjoy yourself, you know. Take, eat, be merry. You know what I'm saying? But it's done in wickedness. This isn't like the kingdom, like when King Saul, I think it was King Saul or King David, who had the party, you know, when he was just giving everybody, but it was done in righteousness when everybody was feasting and eating. Take some wine. Do you have enough? You know what I'm saying? But it's a different spirit. 1 Corinthians 6, 9 to 20. First Corinthians chapter 6, 9 to 20. For it is written in the law of Moses, thou shalt not muzzle the mouth of the ox that tread. This is the right chapter. 6. Oh, I'm in another chapter. 1 Corinthians 6, 9. Now the chapter 9. You go to Corinthians. You know.
Chapter 6?
Yeah, chapter 6, 9 to 20. You know,
you're not that righteous.
Mm-hmm. And then it goes back to another topic right here. It's sort of, you know what I'm saying, when you have issues with food, they call them, talk about that a little bit, you know, sight with the diabetes and all that stuff called sight issue. What that chapter that is? What that say? I'm not doing this to marketing. I'm saying it comes with problems, you know. Just like with lust, you know, fornication, STDs, you know what I'm saying? Burn that glass they just drunk out of. You know what I'm saying? You know, you don't want to drink out to somebody who got AIDS or something of that nature. 1 Corinthians 6.
You can't watch them.
I'm saying you don't want to. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody, you know, if you knew somebody ate with that fork that had AIDS, can I get another fork? I know I would. You know what I'm saying? 6, 9 to.
You get those 9 and 10 go to Elohim Yah. It's not tempting him. We already know Yah could protect everything we're doing, but point that's just natural. We just, if you know, we're sick, just with flu virus. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got pneumonia, that's sick, they carry that trait. You just ain't gonna be around them, but if you have to, you already know y'all can protect us. You know what I'm saying? But you just not just gonna shake their hand, give them a big hug, a big kiss on the side.
That's time to the elbow, hey man.
You know, after that, call behind them.
Yeah, that's what you know what I'm saying. I hope you would have the discernment because you know what I'm saying. That you know it can lead to issues with the body, you know, flu and all that stuff. 1 Corinthians 6, 9 to 20. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of Yah? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor rivalers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of Yah. And such were some of you, but ye were washed, but ye are sanctified but ye are justified in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, and by the Hakadesh of Yah, are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be bought under the power of any gluttony, greed. And that's one thing y'all put that, y'all downloaded that in my spirit when I was born. I hate being controlled, except by y'all. But anything else is opposition. Stubborn to it, I'm pricking, no, I ain't no. If it's not y'all, you ain't, it's going to be a fight, you know what I'm saying? Like a wild horse, you know what I'm saying? That ain't breaking. Meat for the belly, and the belly for meat, but Yah shall destroy both it and them. Now the body is not for fornicating, but for Yah, and Yah for the body. So you know what I'm saying? Some people fornicate. This food demon, you got people got sex fantasies with food. This ain't no, perverted things, you know what I'm saying? That's what Satan is bring it all in. You got the food demon in, bring the sexual perversion demon in. Bring it, bring your neighbor in too on it. It just, as soon as Satan get an opportunity to come in, the whole gang coming in. Lust, envy, murder, everybody coming in. I found the way in, you know what I'm saying?
That's right. 7 times worse.
Absolutely. The 7 deadly sins. And this is one of them. And Yah hath both rised up Yahusha, and will also rise up us by his own power. Know ye not that your bodies are the members of Yahusha? Shall I then take the members of Yahusha and make them the members of a harlot? Yah forbid. And what if you are entangled in this greed and gluttony spirit, you're entangled to the whore of Babylon. That's the whore this section of the lesson is talking about. What? Know ye not that he which is joined to an harlot is one body, as just as lascivious, greedy she is? People who are attached to her, the same minds, doing the same thing. For 2, said he, shall be one flesh, but he that is joined unto Yah is one spirit. Flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body, but he that committed fornication sinned against his own body. And that goes for physical fornication, and that goes for spiritual fornication. It's just not physical fornication. So you're getting STDs in the spirit. What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Hakadesh, which is in you, which ye have of Yah, and ye are not your own? For ye are bought with a price. Therefore glorify Yah in your body and in your spirit, which are Yah's. And and some people battle, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but some people battle, putting down that fork, would you eat this much of Yahushua was next to you? Would he be looking at you side eyes? Would you put the fork down if he looked at you? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people would behave themselves very becoming if Yahushua was right next to them. Guess what? He's right next to you. Whatever got writing down, the demons writing down, yeah, he did this one this day. The angels writing down, he did this one this day. They all telling on you. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no secret hide.
That's right.
That's right. So, and if you don't have the best self-control, just imagine Yahusha right next to you. You know what I'm saying? Would you do these things if Yahusha was right next to you? Jeremiah 51, 25 to 45. Jeremiah 51, verse 25 to 45. So there's many ways you can be attached to this whore of Babylon.
31 to 55.
51, 25 to 45.
25.
Jeremiah 51, verse 25 to 45. So you want to cut out all access that the whore has to you. Behold, I'm against thee, O destroying mountain, saith Yah, which destroyeth all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and I will roll thee down from the rocks. Because you're so fat, you know what I'm saying? They fat cats. You just got to kick them down, just like a snowball. They just roll down, you know what I'm saying? The whore is drunken with this the blood of the saints. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, but thou shalt be desolate forever, said Yah. Set ye up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her, call together against her, talking about the whore of Babylon, the kingdoms of Aret, Mani, and Ashkenaz, appoint a captain against her, cause the horses to come up at the rough caterpillars. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. And the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of Yah shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holes. And that goes also with in Revelation, they say, hide us from the wrath of him. So, all this tough guy, talking Yahushua comes through, everybody know what it is. You know what I'm saying? We just playing around because we got time to play around. You know what I'm saying? That's all sinners, if the pure wicked are hiding, why are you playing with him? In their holes, their might hath failed. They become as women. So Satan and everybody, they up in there, sweet little chariot. They sing some old slaves, so it's for encouragement, because the hell is coming to them. They have burned her dwelling places, her bars are broken. One post shall run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that his city is taken at one end, and that the passages are stopped, and the reeds they have burned with fire, and the men of war are frightened. For thus said Yah of hosts, Yah of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her. Yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, hath devoured me. He hath crushed me. He hath made me an empty vessel. He hath swallowed me up like a dragon. He hath filled his belly with my delicates. He hath cast me out. The violence done to me and to my flesh be upon Babylon. And they eat in Zion, and everybody following Yah. Shall the inhabitants of Zion say, and my blood upon the inhabitant of the Chaldeans? Shall Jerusalem say, therefore thus said Yah, behold, I will plead thy cause, and take vengeance for thee, and I will dry up her sea, and make her springs dry, and Babylon shall become heaps, a dwelling place for dragons, an astonishment, and a hissing without an inhabitant. They shall roar together like lions. They shall yell as lions' whelps. In their heat I will make their feast, and I will make them drunken, that they may rejoice and sleep, a perpetual sleep, and not wake, saith Yah. I will bring them down like lambs to the slaughter, like lambs with his goats. So at this time, Yah going to have his own banquet of death. All the wicked are invited. Mandatory. Sirach 23:17.
You said 45, didn't you?
Did I say 45? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Let's keep going. 41. How is Shishak taken? And how is the praise of the whole earth surprised? How is Babylon become an astonishment among the nations? The sea is come upon Babylon. She is covered with the multitude of the waves thereof. Her cities are desolate, a dry land, and a wilderness, a land wherein no man dwelleth, neither doeth any son of man pass thereby. I will punish Baal in Babylon, and I will bring forth out of his mouth that which he hath swallowed up, and the nations shall not flow together any more unto him. Yea, the wall of Babylon shall fall. My people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver every man in his soul from the fierce anger of Yah. So come out of her. That includes greed too. And Yah's gonna, the ones that they have eaten up, Yah gonna be bringing them back out of the mouth of Baal. Vomited up. Sirach 23:17. Sirach 23:17 is the last one on this portion, dealing with the whore. Sirach 23:17. All bread is sweet to a whoremonger. He will not leave off till he die. And we're going to get to that later. People, man, you ain't got to worry about living in the projects getting shot. Your biggest enemy is that fork and knife. It's taking you out, man. Just one more piece. Dude, gone.
Like an explosion. Like a
Dude, go.
Like TNT, come on, man.
That last bite of pot roast or pork chop, man, you done. Man, he went to sleep and he didn't wake up, man. People die in their sleep because of cardiac arrest. All that fat on it. People waking up like they being choked. Gotta have them little pump things. I mean, you ain't gotta worry about getting shot no more. Your biggest enemy is that fork and knife. This ain't no joke, man. This ain't no joke. Gluttony is a sin. If you die in gluttony, you got some problems. It's not an unforgivable situation, but that's a pretty big one. Because y'all, made it sure don't be greedy. It's better to give than to receive, and you all about receiving. You come up before the throne, 400, 500 pounds. Praise God. What have you done to my temple? You have defiled my temple. Okay. This ain't gluttony is no joke. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't see this a lot. People speak about this. A lot of people don't want to offend nobody, but sometimes you gotta offend people. I'm talking about in the main churches. Saying the pastor obese, the congregation obese. People just don't want it because it's a touchy situation, But, that's what Satan likes. Satan likes to play in places where nobody really likes to touch, And not me, Put the light on it, Because it's about saving your soul, To live like Yahusha. Yahusha wasn't obese, Much walking he was doing, he can't be going around my,
That's what I said, don't tell you who didn't work. That boy worked.
And when you work, fasting too, we'll get to that too. And when you keep the body moving, you're already working out,
Right.
So, but
you should stick it moving.
Yeah, that's right. Now we're gonna talk about how Zion moved Yah with their greed. Psalms 78, 5 to 41. Psalms chapter 78, verses 5 to 41. And we're going to see when this greed, how Yah feels about this greed, man, I'm sure y'all familiar with this, but just to make it fresh, though, y'all going to see what Yah did to the ones who were greedy.
Oh, yeah.
I be reading stuff, I'm like, man, why y'all playing with Yah, man? I mean, Yah can be cruel, man. When y'all want to be, talking about for justice reasons, Yah can be cruel, man.
God's terrible.
You know what I'm saying?
He's terrible.
And when he can be loving and all that, but he can be cruel too.
Cruel,
like
man.
not in a negative way, but in vengeance.
Not in wickedness, but he's cruel in righteousness.
Yeah,
he's just.
Yeah,
It's nothing bad about y'all, but when he's doing justice time for you now, it's just.
He can be cold with you, man. Like, man, just whoo. People just be playing with him.
No sorrow.
No, none.
You don't have none.
None. That's why he told what it was. Ezekiel say, man, don't pray for me, man. I ain't hearing nothing. I'm letting you know right now. When I do what I do, don't pray to How many times he threatened Moses, hey man, let me just kill them all. You know what I'm saying? I'll just start a new one with you. Y'all was talking about, I'll kill them all and I'll start over. You know what I'm saying? Like, but people keep playing with them though. 78, 5-4.
5-4.
I mean, 41. Thanks for the double check. For he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children, that the generations to come might know them, even the children which should be born, which should arise, and declare them to their children. That, and that goes with food, dealing with the food matter, you know what I'm saying? Teaching your children not to be gluttonous. That they might set their hope in Yah, and not forget the works of Yah, but keep his commandments, and might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation. And one of the issues that Zion had with this greed, this gluttony, they had gluttony spirit in Egypt, because the whore of Babylon is the same whore that ran Egypt. It's the same thing. We're going to talk about that a little bit. How, even though you've been oppressed, annihilated, destroyed, feasted upon, but man, the pancakes though, the waffles, you know what I'm saying? And they was talking about the melons and the cucumbers, man. But the meat, man, the pots of meat, we were talking about that too, man. They was just, you know what I'm saying, just the greed, that demon that was on them. That they might set their hope in Yah and not forget the works of Yah, but keep his commandments, and might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation that set not their heart aright, and whose spirit was not steadfast with Yah. And we understand that Yah waited until each last one of those stubborn elders died before they began to go into the promised land. The children of Ephraim, being armed and carrying bows, turned back in the day of battle. They kept not the covenant of Yah, and refused to walk in his law, and forgot his works and his wonders that he had shown them. Marvelous things did he do in the sight of their fathers, in the land of Egypt, in the field of Zoan. He divided the sea and cursed them, caused them to pass through, and he made the watchers to stand as a heap. In the daytime also he led them with a cloud, and all the night with a light of fire. He cleaved the rock in the wilderness, and gave them drink as out of the great depths. He brought streams also out of the rock, and ceased, caused water to run down like rivers. And they sinned yet more against him by provoking the Most High in the wilderness. Man, and it shows you how deep they love and heart was away from Yah. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about the whore of Babylon, man. She will get you away from Yah. That's all these love songs. If I can't live without you, you know what I'm saying? They love the whore. You know what I'm saying? I need you, baby. Just come to me, baby. I'll do anything for you, baby. You know what I'm saying? And she got, a deck of delicacies all around her for you too. But they refused to repent to Yah. And they tempted Yah in their heart by asking meat for their lust, for their greed. Yet they spake against Yah. They said, can Yah furnish a table in the wilderness? They want to have a banquet. They want to have a banquet. You're going to the promised land. You're not in the promised land. Hold your horses. You know what I'm saying? But they greed. I wonder if he's doing all this. What about the fried chicken? You know what I'm saying? This matter, yeah, you know what I'm saying? They can't, and they're not being patient with Yah. Yah's providing for them, doing everything he needs to do for them, and they're elongating our ancestors elongated their own stay in the wilderness. It was probably a 3-month walk, whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then
to Mount Sinai, and probably another 2 weeks out.
And then they kindled Yah anger, and they say, okay, now everybody die. You know what I'm saying? Y'all all die. None of y'all are going to the promised land, as we understand. Behold, he smote the rock that, verse 20, behold, he smote the rock that the water gushed out, and the streams overflowed. Can he give bread also? Can he provide flesh for the people? Therefore, Yah heard this and was wroth. So these ungrateful, you know what I'm saying? This is when you become ungrateful. I just took you, they were just beating you repulsively in their land. You know what I'm saying? Killing your children, putting your children as mortar in the walls to build it, and this is what you do? Like, that alone, thank you. Thank you. We ain't got to do that no more. I gladly eat this bread for a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
That's what Joshua and Caleb said they do. They were tired.
Therefore, Yah heard this and was wroth. So a fire was kindled against Jacob, and anger also came up against Israel, because they believed not in Yah. And that thing of unbelief is really big with Yah. Yah say, I'm jealous. Yah, you know, very jealous. That is a husband with all the power in the world when he's jealous. You know what I'm saying? You know, there are some husbands, you know, kill their wife or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then, then go to jail and whatnot. Nobody putting chains on Yah when he kill you. You know what I'm saying? You know, told him to stop. And trusted not in his salvation, though he had commanded the clouds from above, and opened the doors of heaven, and had rained down manna upon them to eat, and had given them of corn of heaven. What's corn of heaven? Grain. So he also brought them grain too, the corn of heaven and the manna. And had rained down manna upon them to eat, and had given them the corn of heaven. Man did eat angels' food. He sent them meat to the full. So they was already living good, but this greed, though, man, that's why you have to be very careful with this greed. He caused an east wind to blow in the heaven, and by his power he brought in the south wind. He rained flesh also upon them as dust, and feathered fowls like as the sand of the sea. And he let it fall in the midst of their camp, around about their habitations. So they did eat, and were well filled, for he gave them their own desires. But remember, he was upset. So this was not just, you know, thank you, Yah, whatever. He did this for a punishment too. 30. They were not estranged from their lusts, but while their meat was yet in their mouth. Man, some good quail right here. We got barbecue quail over here, teriyaki quail over there, lemon pepper quail over there. You know what you want, you know what I'm saying? The wrath of Yah, while the meat was in their mouth, the wrath of Yah came upon them, and slew the fattest of them, and smote down the chosen man of Israel. So the fattest man equaled the greediest of man, just over the stuffing themselves. And Yah say, yeah, that big one right there. That big one right there. Yeah, that big one right there. Yeah, kill him, you know.
That one too.
That one too, yeah. He came behind that pole. I see him, you know what I'm saying? That's why the scripture says, Isaiah, the one that sanctified himself eating swine's flesh, they probably got, you know what I'm saying, their greed spirit on too, so they ain't going to be hiding behind that tree, you know what I'm saying? You know? Where was it? 4:32, for all this they sin still and believe not for his wondrous works. Therefore their days did he consume in vanity, and their years in trouble. When he, and that's another thing the scriptures say, a lot of people always say, I'm suffering. The scriptures say, don't suffer as a sinner.
That's right.
Oh man, these elements, man, I got back problems, I got money problems, I got all these problems. Yeah, can I set up an appointment for a prostitute? Don't suffer as a sinner. You know, suffer, if you're going to suffer for righteous sake, you know what I'm saying? Like Job, you know, Job wasn't suffering as a sinner, he was suffering for righteous sake. So many people are in suffering and curses because they're sinners, doing all type of abominable things. Therefore their days did he consume in vanity, and their years in trouble. When he slew them, then they sought him, and they returned and inquired early after Yah, and they remembered that Yah was their rock, and the high Yah their Redeemer. Nevertheless, they did flatter him with their mouth, and they lied unto him with their tongues. For their heart was not right with him, neither were they steadfast in his covenant. Because y'all don't want you to love him by fear. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could do, you know what I'm saying? That's not love. You can't get love from fear. You know what I'm saying? And obviously guys pointing this out. I could kill you, but I'm not. I'm trying to work things out so we can have this reciprocal love. But he, being full of compassion, forgave their iniquity and destroyed them not. Yea, many a times turned his anger away, and did not stir up all his wrath. For he remembered that they were but flesh, a wind that passeth away, and cometh not again. How oft did they provoke him in the wilderness, and grieve him in the desert? Yea, they turned back and tempted Yah, and limited the Kadesh born of Zion. Boy, I'm sure some of them people in the 40 years on their deathbed, they was like, Father, you about to leave. My son, the melons in Egypt, the cucumbers. They on their last breath, they talking about melons and cucumbers. You should have been there, my son. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this reprobate mind, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put it past Zion, you know what I'm saying? Zion do some crazy things. The next one is Numbers 11, 1-9. So, you know, you see how y'all feel about this greed, you know what I'm saying? He killed the fattest of them, you know what I'm saying? Numbers 11, verses 1-9. Numbers 11, verses 1-9. Because Yah is not, you know what I'm saying, Yahusha not on the throne like a lot of these worldly kings throughout history that's fat, that's getting fat. Man, Yahusha fit, you know, ready for war at any moment. He ain't got no ulcers, no, you know what I'm saying, any type of problem, you know what I'm saying, keep him fit, spiritually. 11, 1-9. And when the people complained, it displeased Yah, and Yah heard it, and his anger was kindled. And the fire of Yah burnt among them, and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp. And the people cried unto Moses, and when Moses prayed unto Yah, the fire was quenched. And he called the name of the place Tabirah, because the fire of Yah burnt among them, and the mixed multitude that were among them fell a lusting. And the children of Israel also wept again, and said, Who shall give us flesh to eat? We remember the fish. Oh, the catfish. You know how Zion loves them catfish, boy. Unclean.
I ain't never like it.
Boy, at family reunions, in Zion house, boy, majority of Zion, they love some catfish, man. They love it. We remember the fish we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. But now our souls is dried away. Man, you see how, man, they acting like they about to die. Now this is poetically wicked. But now our souls is dried away. There is nothing at all besides this manner before our eyes. This is how they talking to Yah. This is some perverted psalms, you know what I'm saying, Psalms of David, man. Boy, I'm telling you, man, I couldn't be around these people, man. You know what I'm saying, most of Zion here, and this wasn't Zion, it was a mixed multitude too. And the manner was as coriander seed, and the color thereof as the color of palladium. And the people went about and gathered it, and ground it up in mills, or beat it in a mortar, and baked it in pans, and made cakes of it. And the taste of it was as the taste of fish oil. And when the dew fell upon the camp in the night, the manna fell upon it. Okay, now we're going to go to Exodus chapter 16. Yeah, man, this greed, man, ain't no joke. And when you greed, you're not patient. You know what I'm saying? You got this insatiable appetite, you get angry, it's irritable. You know what I'm saying? I noticed this, I like to study human behavior, but women have this very bad, about when they're not eat. They don't, especially when they're on their cycle and all that too. They get grumpy and all that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But that's also, that's some spirits. You know what I'm saying? Going to work. Because I seen women get irritable.
Feed me, Seymour.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know. Every time I use my ex-wife, be like, man, this is ridiculous. You needed some self-control here. You know what I'm saying? This is, you know what I'm saying? This is not the spirit of Yah here. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know the spiritual aspect so in depth as I do now. Exodus 16, chapter 1, on down. And they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came unto the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after their departing out of the land of Egypt. And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said unto them, would to Yah we had died by the hand of Yah in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, the meats, you know what I'm saying? And when we did eat bread to the full. You see, talking about just like in Egypt, that whore spirit, that Babylon daughter of whore spirit is still here to this day, but they're in Egypt. Even though you're being oppressed and mistreated and all this stuff, but the food, man, cakes and pies. What Food Line got a sale on cakes and pies right now. Walmart, they got a sale. Oh, everything is so. We're gonna talk about it a little bit too. How it's so cheap now. You know what I'm saying? Everything cheap. Cakes and pies, pots of meat is cheap. They giving it away. You can go. You can go to food pantry. You can go. You want some cakes and pies? You can go. Go get food stamps, cakes and pies. You know what I'm saying? Go get your cakes and pies. Enjoy yourself. And that's how it was in Egypt as well. But ye have brought us forth into the wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. And they wasn't hungry. They had insatiable appetites for particular things. You know what I'm saying? Them spirits. You know what I'm saying? It was just calling, man, you remember that? You remember that? Then said Yah unto Moses, behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day, that I may prove them whether they will walk in my law or not. See right here? Y'all, they bellies. They bellies ruled them, and y'all say, you know what, I'm going to prove them before. Because just like right now, a lot of people like, oh, I got baptized, I'm going to the kingdom. Slow your roll. You have 47 more years. Let's see how you, let's see in 46 years how your last 45 years been. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that. That's a good one, right?
You know what I'm saying?
I like that. I like that. Slow your roll.
Slow your roll there. Slow your roll.
I like that. That's a good one.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You know what I'm saying? But as long as you walking according to his laws, statutes, and commandments, you do what he say, you straight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's it.
Right.
And it shall come to pass, that on the 6th day they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily. And Moses and Aaron said unto the children of Israel, at even, then ye shall know that Yah hath brought you out of Egypt, the land of Egypt, and in the morning then ye shall see the glory of Yah, for that he heard your mourning against Yah. And what are we that ye murmur against us? And Moses said, this shall be when Yah shall give you in the evening flesh to eat, and in the morning bread to the full. For that Yah heareth your murmuring, where ye murmur against him. And what are we? Your murmuring are not against us, but against Yah. And that's, you know what I'm saying? They yet to forget that, because Moses, they was just middleman, and Yah, I'm just telling you
what he told me. I'm telling you. So if what I tell you, you got a problem with, yeah, they got a problem with what you told me to tell them. So they got a problem with you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, when you go to somebody in kindness and love, to help them, it can be a gentle rebuke or it could be, an ungentle rebuke. They get mad at you. Well, let me read what y'all said, and just because it came out of my, how about I email it to you? You know what I'm saying? Dang that Google Gmail. You know what I'm saying? Don't get mad at somebody giving you the word. You know what I'm saying? If you got a problem with it, take it to the person who wrote it down. You know what I'm saying? To the being who wrote it down. Verse 9. And Moses spake unto Aaron and say unto the congregation of the children of Israel, come near before Yah, for he hath heard your murmuring. And it came to pass as Aaron spake unto the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked towards the wilderness, and behold, the glory of Yah appeared in the cloud. And Yah spake unto Moses, saying, I have heard the murmuring of the children of Israel. Speak unto them, saying, at evening ye shall eat flesh, and in the morning ye shall be filled with bread, and ye shall know that I am Yah, your Elohim. And it came to pass that at evening the quails came upon and covered the camp, and in the morning the dew lay round about the host. And when the dew that lay was gone upon the face of the wilderness, there lay a small round thing, as small as the hoar of frost on the ground. And when the children of Israel saw it, they said one to another, it is manna, for they wist not what it was. And Moses said unto them, this is the bread which Yah hath given you to eat. This is the thing which Yah hath commanded. Gather it every man according to his eating, an omer for every man according to the number of your persons. Take ye every man for them which are in his tent. And you see right here, this is talking about portion size. Don't come out here with a bag. Somebody get hungry around 12 tonight, you know what I'm saying? Take what you need to eat. You know what I'm saying? Don't overdo it. You know what I'm saying? And the children of Israel did so and gathered, some more, some less. And when they did meet it, or with an omer, he that gathered much had nothing over, and he that gathered little had no lack. Look at that. You caught that? That greed is better to, you know what I'm saying, to give, you know what I'm saying, don't be greedy. And that's what happens when you're greedy. You think you're gonna have enough, but you're not. You buying big ticketed items, and right at that particular time you had that job that you could afford, that 2 years later, man, that $400,000 mortgage thing, boy, this is ridiculous. What was I thinking? You know what I'm saying? And the person who was modest, they started as a small house. They was able to buy it. They was able to sell it. Then they got into a bigger house. They was in a better financial state. That greed comes. God does not like greed. They gathered every man according to his eating. And Moses said, let no man leave of it till the morning. Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto Moses, but some of them left of it until the morning, and it bare worms and stank, and Moses was wroth with them. And they gathered it every morning, every man according to his eating, and when the sun waxed hot, it melted. And boy, I was like, man, what are we eating? You know what I'm saying? Some bread and milk, boy. And it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. And he said unto them, this is that which Yah hath said. Tomorrow is the rest of the Kadesh Shabbat unto Yah. Bake that which ye will bake today, and see it boil, that ye will see it boil, and that which remaineth over lay up for you to keep until the morning. And they laid it up the morning as Moses bid, and it did not stink, neither was there any worm therein. And Moses said, Eat that today, for today is a Shabbat unto Yah. Today ye shall not find in the field it in the field. 6 days shall ye gather, but on the seventh day, which is the Shabbat, in it there shall be none. And it came to pass that there went out some, because what happens when you're greedy? Greed accompanies slothfulness. You know what I'm saying? Like, there'll be more out there tomorrow, man. Oh man, give me something to eat. What? Moses! Moses! You know what I'm saying? That slothful spirit comes. And it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the seventh day to gather, and they found none. And Yah said unto Moses, How long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my laws? See, for that Yah hath given you the Shabbat. Therefore he giveth you on the 6th day the bread of 2 days. Abide ye every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the Shabbat day. So the people rested on the Shabbat day, and the house of Israel called the name thereof manna, and it was like coriander seed, white, and the taste of it was like a wafer made with honey. Okay, so I read this talking about the greed and the anger that it provokes Yah, and Yah just keeps, and some people just ain't going to get it like some of these people here. And Yah is showing you that he does not like people who greedy, man. And that's a thing about Satan. Satan will take until nothing's left. And that's the same thing with Edom and Obadiah. Y'all don't like Edom. He said, because y'all take so much. A normal thief would take only what they need and leave the rest. But you take everything. Y'all does not like this greed spirit. And it goes back to Enoch 15, that insatiable appetite. Now we're going to go to healthy mind and body section of this, Proverbs 31, 3-9. Proverbs chapter 31, 3-9. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyed kings. Greed destroys kings. I mean, how many kings, died because of obesity, in 1600 and 1500 and, kings back in the day.
Well, they probably did it because they was big, raw.
Well, I'm talking about, they was fat, a lot of,
Yeah.
It was a status, I know what you mean too. It was a status symbol back then to be fat because, everybody else was poor, you know what I'm saying?
So they was skinny.
They were real skinny, you know what I'm saying? Like, like them commercial skinny, you know what I'm saying? If you was fat, but that was unhealthy, you know what I'm saying? It is not for kings, Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink, lest they drink and forget the law and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. Again, it goes back to like pastors or people who are seeking to do Yah's will. You can't render judgment if if you got type 1 diabetes and you unhealthy. I'm not saying people with this stuff you can get healthy, because bad choices or whatever, you can work to get healthy. I'm talking about people who stay in it, with people who on oxygen tanks, they still smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
How you don't look, man, get yourself together before you tell me anything, because you might die by telling me something. You need your breath. You know what I'm saying? You might you know what I'm saying? So
save that breath.
Yeah, say that for yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? Give me back when you get yourself together. And again, I see this like in a lot of the churches. You know what I'm saying? The pastors are very unhealthy, and you can't be unhealthy leading the people. You know what I'm saying? You gotta at least strive to be for it. You know what I'm saying? Just something. You know what I'm saying? Going. But again, that's just like with alcohol. A drunk pastor, and there are some pastors that can't put the bottle down. You know what I'm saying? The only thing they're gonna tell you is praise Jesus, pastor. I got some issues. Praise Jesus. Praise Jesus. Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? That's not going to fix the problem, you know what I'm saying? Because I got some issues here, you know what I'm saying? You got to address the problem. Let us reason together, Yah said. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts. Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more. Open thy mouth. Man, that's some deep stuff, man. And what happens during the drug epidemic, you know what I'm saying? A lot of brothers, you know what I'm saying, just drinking misery away, man. No nothing.
That's rampant in the military.
Yeah, there's a lot of suicides in the military. Open thy mouth for the dumb in the cause of all such as are appointed to destruction. Open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. And the only way you can judge righteously if you're healthy in mind, body, and soul. If you have a dilemma in any one of those, you know what I'm saying, you need to get yourself. That's why scripture say examine yourself first. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, my mind, body, and spirit, that means, you know, I can hurt somebody. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, hey pastor, I really need you here, or hey brother, I really need you here, and you know what I'm saying, one of your something happened to you, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, you fell down because you know what I'm saying, you 340 pounds, and you're like, hey man, I hurt my back.
You're packing the string.
You know what I'm saying, but because you are not healthy in your body, that becomes a hindrance. All Satan gotta do is you know what I'm saying, put a marble on the floor, you out. You know what I'm saying? You out. You know what I'm saying? You 300, 400 pounds, you hit the flow, man. We talking about whether you 30, 40, 50 years old. You ain't got to be older in age, but, you know, that 300, 400 pounds hit the flow, that's like 1,000 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Hit the flow. That's going to cause them hurt. Look, I'm sorry, man. I can't make it, man. Greed is not, okay. That's my point, you know. Some of these things are humorous, but, you know, I'm saying this because, you know, you have to be healthy in mind, body, and spirit to properly assist somebody. And a lot of people always say, I feel the anointing on me. I'm called. But yeah, man, get yourself together. You might be called, but you need to get yourself right, you know, and that's in the body too, you know what I'm saying? Go to Sirach 41, chapter 41, 11 to 13. Sirach chapter 41, 11 to 13. 41, 11 to 13. The mourning of man is about their bodies. You check that out. The mourning of man is about their bodies. How many, you know what I'm saying? When you do get, like Brother Ryan, not saying like this, but when you do get an injury, you start, oh man, you know, I want this fixed, or you know what I'm saying, you get a headache, you want this fixed. If you 400-500 pounds, you know what I'm saying, you know, when you get up out of bed, man, that's whoo, help me, Jesus. It's because if you start to mourn more and more because you're in an unhealthy, you know, there's people who get hurt and you know what I'm saying, they got, you know, fixed this, and then there's people who afflict their bodies and they do their own damage to their own bodies, like smoking crack or anything. This ain't got to be obesity, it can be other things too, but this lesson is about obesity.
Yes.
And greed. The mourning of man is about their bodies, but an ill name of sinners shall be blotted out. Have regard to thy name, for that shall continue with thee above 1,000 great treasures of gold. And I brought this out to show, to bring this point out. It goes back to, you know, if you're not sound in your body, people are going to pick up on that. And people, you know what I'm saying, like you would be able to help them, but you're in an unhealthy state of living. And you know what I'm saying, oh man, and you missed the opportunity to help somebody. Y'all gave you all the tools to help them, but physically, you're just not able to do it. So don't call Johnny, don't call Johnny, man. You know what I'm saying? Something always gonna happen, you know what I'm saying? Deuteronomy, that's a 13, that's a 13. 13. A good life hath but few days, but a good name endureth forever. And it takes works to keep everything flowing and in good status. You know what I'm saying? Your faith. This is 13. 40. Ecclesiastes 41:11 to 13. Is just the next verse down.
Ecclesiastes.
Correct.